Girl, I just know there is no way that you're not using cream blush in your makeup routine. If not, you definitely need to see this. Stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am Jasmine Laverne, and so today I just wanted to do a get ready with me. Basically, this is, I wouldn't say my everyday look because I don't wear makeup every day, pretty much on the weekends whenever I go out, but this is my full natural face, and if you're interested to see how I achieve this look, stay tuned. Hey guys, trying to get the camera to focus is not an easy task at all, but I'm definitely going to link all the products below. This is the NYX brow pencil that I always use. There's two different shades that I use depending on the look that I'm going for. One's Brunette and the other one I believe is Espresso. But I definitely prefer the Brunette shade when I'm going for a lighter look. But because my hair is orange, the Espresso gives it a more defined look sometimes. So it really just depends. I like both. And if you notice, I mostly focus on the middle and the tail end of my brow just because of the shape that I have. My brows are pretty full as it is, so I don't want to overdo it. I only need to fill in the places that are more sparse than others. I don't do really sharp lines or anything. And I stroke upwards in the front for a more hair-like finish. But I definitely need more help towards the end of my brow, focusing on the tail. And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but because I'm going to fill it in and then follow up with concealer to really shape the brow. And typically, to be honest, I don't even do my brows first. It really just depends on how fast I'm going to do my makeup. But recently I've noticed, I think I like the brows more after I complete my foundation routine. The Milk Hydro Grip Primer, I've been using this primer for a while. I don't really know how much it actually does. And I've heard this in a few routines. All of us are using it on YouTube. Is it actually working? I don't know. But I think I like it. It does have somewhat of like a sticky texture. And I know that NYX has a dupe of this that they just came out with. I think e.l.f. might have one too. So I'm kind of interested in trying the more affordable options. But yeah, I'm pretty much using the Hydro Grip for everything. The Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Chai. I've been glued to this foundation since Auntie Jackie did a collab with them. Maybelline fit me the regular formula in 355. I go back and forth with this foundation, but it's really, I would say, one of my holy grails. I cannot put it down. And I don't know why. I feel like I have to mix the two every time. I think it's really because I have different undertones. Well, I pretty much have a yellow undertone, but for the simple fact that I have different shades in my face, I just try to balance it out. So I typically just spread the Maybelline Fit Me all over my face and a pump or two of Too Faced, depending on how full of a look that I'm going for. But as you see, I start with the cheeks, the largest part of my face, and then I spread the remainder around my nose and my forehead. You don't need a lot of makeup on your forehead. I feel like the more foundation and concealer product, period, that you apply to your forehead, the more the higher possibility that your makeup can look cakey. I don't know. I remember at one point in time, nobody was really putting any makeup on their forehead at all, mostly just powder. But after I, disperse my foundation, sometimes my eyebrows need to be touched up a little bit. Like I said, this is kind of why I prefer to do my brows after foundation. As you see here, I'm just highlighting all the high points of my face. And then I just loosely apply the concealer under my eyebrows because I'm going to clean it up with a brush anyway. This Milani concealer, I am glued to it, y'all. If you haven't tried this concealer, it's full coverage. It's creamy. It's so good to the point where typically it's sold out at Ulta. They had a larger shade range, and I think they cut down on it. So, you know, if you're a deeper skin tone, you might be better off ordering it online. But I probably have like 4 or 5 of these. I do not even get close to running out. I really hope they don't discontinue this anytime soon. I honestly would say Milani hit the jackpot with this concealer. I was using the ColourPop hyaluronic acid, I believe, concealer before this. But the Milani definitely has a better consistency as far as it being creamy and full coverage. But I don't always outline the top of my brows as you just see me do. But if I do, I use the foundation that I'm applying. We don't do halo brows. So concealer under the brow, foundation on the top. If you have a naturally nice shape of brow and you fill them in pretty well, you know, and it doesn't look crazy, you might not even have to conceal the top of your brow, but it definitely might give you a sharper look. I'm just blending in the concealer under my eyebrows and bringing it down to the top of my eyelid sometimes, because even if I don't apply shadow, if I just apply bronzer or blush to my eyelids, you want to have something for it to stick to. That black opal foundation stick, holy grail. If you've never used it, you gotta try it. It's a foundation stick, but clearly I use it to contour. It oxidizes so well. Within a few hours, it looks even more skin-like from when you just applied it. I've been using this foundation stick for years. It can be, you know, found at Walmart, some Walgreens, I believe, or just buy it online, but amazing. This is the cream blush that I use. Y'all, NYX really hit the nail on the head with this one. I have this cream blush in probably 4 or 5 shades. It's so good. I don't think the price point is too high. I think it's around $7 to $9. I will say it can get kind of messy, but the cream blush is a must-have. So just applying the concealer under eye. I try not to apply too much in the beginning. You know, if you need more, you can always build it up. But the cream blush has to go. So I did my contour, I added my concealer, and then the cream blush as well. I typically like to blend it all together sometimes. I think it helps it blend more seamlessly if it's all applied together. But I definitely think if you use too much concealer, it gives you the opportunity to wash out the blush. So sometimes after doing this step, I reapply a little bit more blush, but I'd rather do less than more. You know, you can always add more, but it's harder to take away. So start with a little and build your way up. I'm just using a Morphe concealer brush here. Morphe had a sale a few months ago, and I went crazy ordering brushes. When it comes to brushes, you're most likely only going to see me with Morphe, e.l.f., Real Techniques, and I might have a few one-off brushes from, I think it's Shop Miss A. If you're not familiar with that website, it's like an online beauty supply store, and everything is like $1 or it's very, very fairly priced. So when I first got started in makeup, I bought a ton of those brushes. But this brush is actually from the hair store. But like I said earlier, I'm applying more blush because the concealer kind of washed it out a little bit. And I like this light pink shade because it's not too heavy. It's a very flirty, pretty, soft pink look. So I love this shade in the NYX cream blush. And I'm just using my foundation brush here to blend it in. Anytime you use a foundation brush to blend in concealer, blush, or anything that's on your face, it's going to give it a better blend when you're using the foundation brush because, of course, there's still a little bit left on the brush. The Laura Mercier loose powder. We all know this is a holy grail in the makeup community. But I mix 3 powders, y'all. I use the translucent. I believe this is the translucent honey, yes. And then I've recently picked up my Sacha Buttercup powder again. So, y'all, I'm doing my makeup. Typically, I'm using all 3. It sounds like a lot, but when you have a yellow undertone, you want the powder to match the color of your skin. And especially if your chest is going to be exposed, you want the high points of your face to be similar to the color of your neck and your chest. So I'm just applying it under my eyes. If you see me looking up, you always want to look in different directions when you're applying powder under your eyes so you can get powder in the creases. You don't want to look up and there's, you know, you have crease lines, there's no powder in it. Your best bet for a more seamless look is try to get powder everywhere in your face, every crevice, foundation and powder on the sides of your nose. You want to be very precise with that. Here I'm just using a big Real Techniques brush to spread loose powder over my entire face. I think this is a really important step I learned a few years ago. Before you start applying bronzer, contour powder, powder brush, any powder on your face, you want to set the cream and the foundation, anything that's on your face, because if you don't, I've seen it's so much easier for your makeup to look muddy once you start contouring. So spreading loose powder over my entire face has definitely helped beforehand. Those Fenty bronzers, I waited for a while before they came out, but I really love them, especially for deeper skin tones. They have really nice shades to them. So contouring my nose, I bring the contour up high under my eyebrow because it helps it look more blended. It just, it starts the shape there. So anytime you contour, you want to bring it up into the front of your eyebrow, and then that just starts the space for you to apply eyeshadow, or typically, like myself, because I wear eyelash extensions, I typically just apply contour powder or blush to my eyelids so it blends right in. Applying this Juvia's Place blush palette. I have both of her blush palettes. I love them. I believe it's only 2, but those can be purchased at Ulta or online or from Juvia's website. I definitely recommend buying Juvia's Place products online at Ulta, or just from Juvia's Place's website, because typically it's cheaper than it is at Ulta. And always use coupons, y'all. Please do not pay full price for makeup. There should always be a coupon available. So I use the contour powder as eyeshadow. I'm not doing a lot of eyeshadow because I wear eyelash extensions. The more eyeshadow you wear, the more that you just mess with your eyes, the faster your eyelashes will fall out. My lash tech is amazing. Her retention is something I've never seen before, but still, I keep it pretty neutral for the most part. Your eyelids, if you want to keep it more natural, you just use the bronzer, the contour powder, and the blush that you use on your face, and it gives you a more warm look. It's really pretty. And here I'm just going over my face with pressed powder. If you make your under eye too bright with powder, loose powder, you have a great opportunity to even it out with the skin tone pressed powder that you use. I really like the Sephora Microsmooth powder. A lot of YouTubers raved about this powder for years. I think Alyssa Ashley, Arnell, a lot of people. So I eventually picked it up. I think it does give my skin a more smooth overall look. I don't use it all the time, but I definitely think that I like it. And especially anything that I think will make my under eye look more smooth, I'm going to use it. This is the darker Juvia's Place palette. I love the orange and the deep red shade in this palette. Juvia's Place overall is very pigmented, so you only want to pick up a little bit, and then you can definitely build it up as need be. I typically use her lighter palette more often, but when I'm going for more pigment, I'm going to pick up the darker one, because in this video, clearly I'm using a ring light, so the lighting is very strong. Everything is a lot more pigmented than it would be in a photo. So sometimes if you're using unnatural light, you're going to go a little heavier if you want your contour and basically any of the dimension in your face to pop. You might have to go a little heavier while you're doing your makeup in really bright light, as opposed to, if it was natural light. The Wet n Wild highlighters, I've been using this highlighter for years. I know it can be purchased at Walgreens. That's pretty much where I bought mine, or Walmart, any drugstore really. This is one of the best drugstore highlighters that I've used, and I love that you can drop it and it will not break easily. If you don't know, I drop everything. I'm just rough, and that highlighter has withstood time. This Morphe palette, I really like it. It has a really deep brown shade in it that I like to use on my eyelids or for my under eye. I bought this palette a few months ago at the Morphe in Green Hills. That was my first time ever purchasing anything in the store, but their pricing is unbeatable. So yes, I would definitely look into that palette if you're looking to make a new makeup purchase. And palettes are really good if you're new to makeup and you're just trying to dive in and not spend a lot of money. You can get a lot of bang for your buck. You can get blush, contour powder, and your regular face powder in one palette, maybe for $9 at the Morphe store online. So definitely look into purchasing some palettes if you're new to makeup and you want to save a coin. And it also helps with travel. You know, you're going out of town, you can just buy a palette and not worry about taking a bunch of powders. Now, this flat sponge, I purchased a pack of them from Shein. Top tier. I think the pack had like 4 or 5 in them, and I use them probably every time I do my makeup. They're really good with pressing powder in your face, so specifically under your eye. Yeah, I cannot leave my brows alone. That's something I'm going to play with the whole time just to make sure that they're right. Like I said, the tail of my brow is where I focus the most. I try to make my brows point outward and not down the end of them. I don't know, you can make your face look frowny and just close off your face if you shade your brows to point downward. So that's something that I work on. This NYX eyeliner, I always pretty much use black for my bottom eyelid. But I will say sometimes it can close your eye off. So if you want a lighter look, you can go with brown eyeliner on the bottom or white or nude for a little pop. And I honestly think when you use nude or any lighter colors, it opens your eyes. But yes, I have to have some type of bottom eyeliner on, or if not, I'll just wear mascara on the bottom. You have to complete the look. So here I'm just using one of my contour shades. I'm using a lighter brown shade from the Morphe palette to line my bottom lash line, under that eyeliner. You wanna smoke it out. Whether you go dark or not, you definitely want to give it a completed look. So I'm just using a small shadow brush to apply that color. And you want to be careful when you're applying eyeliner to the bottom lash line, because it's easier just to smudge it and you don't want to pull it too far down. This Juvia's Warrior palette, it's so nice with warm neutral tones. There's a lighter nude tone that I use a lot for inner corner. If I don't use highlighter, I'll use it almost looks white, but I think it's more of a nude color. And then back to the brows, because like I said, I can't leave my brows alone. The Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, I am stuck with this. I've been using this for years. The one that I use is very small. I always buy the mini one. I love buying minis. I don't know. I just love small products. But it keeps your brows in place, and I think it gives them a more natural, fluffy look. I think brow gel is definitely good to have on hand. Still working on smoking out that bottom lash line. It must have been too light and I wanted to increase the color, but like I said, it's always better to start off with a little and smoke it out. Now, I think it's really important to connect the bottom lash line with the top. You don't want it to be a gap between the top and the bottom if you can see it from the side. Just going in with a little more color from the Juvia's Warrior palette. I like my eyelids to look very warm. You know, the contour powder is good, but sometimes I need a little bit more warmth. Like I said, I like it to pop in pictures, especially when you're doing a more natural look. This is so important. Y'all, wipe that foundation off of your lips. Before you apply your lip products, you will get a much better color payoff and more pigmentation from your lip liner and your lipstick if you wipe the powder and the foundation off of your lips first. This time I just use a tissue. Sometimes I just use Q-tips. But I love this KKW. I think it's Nude 3, the lip liner. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued, and I'm so sad about it. If you see, like, the color payoff is amazing. It's so brown. It's warm. That's another thing. Your lip liner should be warm. If your skin tone is warm, using a black or a really, really dark ashy brown will look exactly that. Sometimes it looks ashy. I prefer to look warm. So, like I said, love the Nude 3. And then here, I just use the NYX Lip Lingerie Liquid Matte Lipstick. I've been using these lipsticks for years. If you're familiar with NYX, you know they've been out for forever. They have so many shades. I think they're discontinuing these small ones because they've came out with an XL, or it's like a 2XL version. It's a really, really big packaging. I like the smaller ones better. I carry small purses sometimes, and they fit so well. So after the liner, I apply the liquid lip gloss, and then I blot it out. I don't typically use a brush to disperse it, but I think it helps with blending. I go back in with the lip liner. I want to make sure that my lip liner is not very washed out. I need it to be pigmented. So these clear lip glosses from the beauty supply store, y'all, please tell me y'all know about them. Because when it comes to ombre lips and gloss on top of lipstick, the gloss payoff with these, it's just second to none. I've never purchased a gloss from Sephora or Ulta that could compete with these. So $2 at the beauty supply store, sign me up. I think I have like 3 of them. 2 of them I gave one to my best friend. Like, you need those lip glosses in your life. So really good. If you have a dupe for those, or a clear lip gloss that you all really like, link some in the bio. It's summertime. I'm sorry, leave it in the comments below because I'm down to try more products. It's summertime. You know the girls love a good gloss in the summertime. So yes, girl. This Benefit mascara, I think I got it as like a birthday gift from Ulta. Girl, I love some free makeup. Don't get me started, but it's so good for the bottom lash line. Clearly, because I have lash extensions, that's the only place that I place mascara. Girl, the bottom lashes are going to pop every time. And I love the way that the wand is set up. It makes it easier to not get mascara everywhere. But yes, this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Y'all know Morphe changed the game with this because we were using a regular pump setting spray, but that Continuing Mist, it really does the job. This is my little handheld fan from Amazon, and I'm just using the flat sponges that I purchased from Shein to press the setting spray in. And then I also wanted to increase the depth of my contour, so that's what you see me doing. So I sprayed more mist to make sure I get rid of that powdery look. And you definitely want to press anything in that you place on your under eye to make sure that there are no creases. And this is my baby. We had to have a cameo from Coco. I wanted y'all to meet my baby, so here she is. I forgot to film an outro, guys, but thank you so much for tuning in to my Get Ready With Me. I hope that you enjoyed. The products are listed in the comments below. If you have any questions, let me know. I will gladly answer your questions. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see from me. Thank you, guys. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.